In this video, I'm going to start showing some of the new features we have around sending attachments or your reports as attachments. So right here, I'm in the editor of this report I have. It's a very simple report. It's just 2 slides, shows some active incidents and some active changes that I want to share with others. I'm going to go ahead and publish this, and we'll go to the viewer. So this is what the shared version of this would be. So if you shared this and they went straight to the report, they would get this experience where they see the report with active incidents, the charts, the hovers. But sometimes you want to share this information through an email, and it would be nice if you could share this report as an attachment to that email. So that's what I want to go through now, is this new feature we have that allows you to do that. So up here in the top, we have this overflow menu. If we click on it, we can see you could share, you could download, you could send as attachment. Let's go to send as attachment, because that is the new feature we have to go over. If I click that, I now get the modal. I choose the format I want the attachment to be. So we'll just say we want PDF. Let's say I want it best because I want it looking nice. And then we have some advanced settings. Advanced settings, some of these haven't changed, but this one here is new. So I have 2 slides on this. I can say I only want to send the first slide as attachment. I could say go from slide 2 to into, and I could send only the second slide as an attachment. If I have many slides, so let's say I have 50 slides in this report, and I only wanted to send 3 of them, I could click the manually select slides. Let's say I wanted slide 2, 8, and 9. I could do that, for example. But in this case, I want to send all of the slides. So I'm going to say send the first and the second slide. Now that sets up what I want to have as sent as the attachment. Now I configure the message for the email. When I go here, there's some settings here that will be different based on the instance you're on. But in this case, I have this set up so I could add an email address or ServiceNow user or group. I'm just going to add a user here. So let's send it to the dev team here. So we'll say, send it to Kevin. We'll send it to Dylan. And we'll send it to Clarence. Some of the dev individuals that worked on this feature. I have this subject line, which I have a default subject line here. I'm going to say, this is a report from Gary. And I'm going to leave the default message here. Now I'll show in a separate video, but things like allowing this email address to be added. So for example, if I wanted to send this message to someone outside of the instance, I could click on that. And I could just say Gary Deach at VividCharts.com. I could add it. And so now that becomes another recipient of this message. That is a setting, and I'll go through this in a separate video, but you could turn this on and off for your instance if you want to allow that or not. Also, the default subject line and default message is configurable at an instance level, so I'll go over that in a separate video too. But in this case, I went ahead and added these different, I'm going to remove myself here. I added these 3 users I wanted to receive this message. I set up the message in the subject line. And I have this to save the above configuration as defaults, and I'll show you what that does here in a second. And I also have the ability to choose when I want it to send. Now I can send this immediately, or if I turn this off, I could schedule the time that I want this sent. So let's say, today's the 14th. I could say send it Monday at a specific hour. Let's say 8 o'clock. And these are, note that these are all UTC times. So when I do that, it says, okay, this was scheduled for 8 o'clock, but it's scheduled for 3 o'clock local time. don't want to wake people up that early in the morning. So let's go ahead and say 17. Whoops. Let's say 1700. Okay, so now we have it set for local time at that. So now when I click send, it's going to go ahead and create a notification with my message. It's going to create the attachment, and it's going to put that attachment onto the message. So let's go ahead and hit send and see how this works. So now it's creating the attachment. Okay, now the attachment was created. It was added to that notification. Got a message saying that the notification was created successfully. So now on Monday, that message is going to go out. Now I want to show you what happened because I chose to use those as the defaults. So let's go. So this is the send as attachment demo. So I'm going to go out. And then it's the top report here. So let's go back into the viewer. I just want to show you what it's like. So let's say it's 3-4 days later. It's the next week I come back to this. I want this to be created as an attachment and sent out. Maybe I refreshed it so it has fresh data on it with new information a week later. So I would go send as attachment. I do need to set up the type of attachment I want again. Let's use the same expectations. And when I hit configure message, notice the defaults came back. So the same users are there, the same message for subject, same message is there. Now, I do have to schedule it again. So this time I want it to send immediately, or I could reschedule it for a different time. But all the users who are receiving it and the messaging is going to be saved. So let's go ahead and click it's send immediately. Let's go ahead and send it. Again, we'll regenerate the attachment. Again, if it's a week later and I hit refresh, it's going to be with the new data and information on that attachment and attach it to that notification. Great. So the notification was created successfully. So because I said send immediately, those individuals will be getting that message as soon as it's processed and those notifications go out. So again, a very powerful way to start delivering the reports that you have here from the viewer to stakeholders. And with those save as defaults, you can keep some of that messaging and stakeholders saved. So each time you go back to this same report, you don't have to re-enter that information. Look forward to seeing how you use this new feature and look forward to using this new release.